Let's jump into today's hot topic, which is Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Amber Heard got handed her ass. He won, I think, 15 million. She got 2. What are your thoughts on this, Jay? Whatever happened to, believe women? And do you think his fame and power had anything to do with her loss? Or do you think she's just trash?
I think it's a mixture of every single one of those things. And how's that for a hot take? That's very it's very safe, right? No, when it comes to believe women, first and foremost, I kind of like what Charlemagne said, and I don't say that very often, but instead of believe women, I think the whole thing or always should have been listen to all women, believe all facts and evidence. To the extent that believe women was what we were all doing, that has taken a huge hit, and it should.
Interesting. Why do you say that? Why do you say it should?
Because it should be listened to facts, but it should be listened to women believe facts and evidence.
Okay. And the facts and evidence of the case said Amber Heard was trash.
Was she trash? Yes. Anyone, setting the turd in the bed thing aside, anyone who domestically abuses someone and then mocks that person for being a victim of their own domestic abuse, which is what Amber Heard is on the record as saying. There's a recording where she's like, no one's going to believe you, Johnny, that, oh, look at me, I'm Johnny Depp and I'm a victim of domestic violence. And he says, yes, I am. And she's like, yeah, well, no one's going to believe you. Anyone who does that, I don't care who you're abusing, that person is trash. Did Johnny Depp's fame or whatever play into it? Of course it did. That's the whole point of a jury trial. The lawyer would have been dumb to not go with a jury trial. They were smart to try the case in Virginia rather than California, because certain things were able to be admitted into evidence. On top of that, you might get a more sympathetic jury in Virginia. And then the elephant in the room is money. Johnny Depp has a lot of money. He's able to pay lawyers that cost anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 an hour.
So do you think he just had better lawyers, or do you think he just had the truth on his side?
I think it's a mixture of both again, because even if you have the truth on your side, how many times have we seen people who have the truth on their side, but they still have to take a plea agreement because they have a district attorney, not even a DA, a public defender is the word I'm looking for, a public defender that doesn't even remember their own name, a shitty lawyer who's underpaid and overworked, right? So there's definitely an element of truth here. Because let's remember, this was not a criminal case. This was a civil case. The threshold for a civil case is much lower. They had some the lawyers appeared to be much better than Amber Heard's lawyers. What do you think?
I didn't follow this case that much because, to tell you the truth, I thought they were both off-putting. I think they're both narcissistic. I can't believe our news has been swallowed by this case, but we haven't heard anything about Ghislaine Maxwell. We haven't heard anything about the shooter in New York who shot people on the train. There are so many other pressing things in the world that for this to have taken up so much TV time, I just thought was just absolute garbage and indicative of where America is going as a whole. Both of them, to me, are bad actors in the sense that I think they abused each other. And I really think that the entire case was a waste of time. Because what came out of this? We both know you guys act like savages behind closed doors. We both know you have money, and now one of you just made more. This didn't move the needle for domestic survivors, whether they be male or female. This didn't, didn't evolve the domestic abuse conversation in any way, shape, or form, because these are people with resources. So at any given point, they both had the resources to get out of the situation. And at this point, to me, they just both seem vindictive. And there are real women out there who are suffering. There are real men out there who are suffering, who do not have 1/16 of the resources that these two have. And I really don't feel that much empathy for either one of them. I actually really just don't care, but was very surprised at how much this case took over the waves. Like, I cannot believe more people were invested in this than they were in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And I can't for the life of me understand why. What about this case consumed people? Two people slapping each other around drunk and high in mansions. Why should we care at all?
I think a lot of people read their own personal feelings about the Me Too movement on this. I think particularly the notion of believe all women, regardless of what they say. I think a lot of people had emotional connectivity or maybe, hinged their emotions to this thing because.
Why are people emotionally connected to this at all? He comes off like a weirdo. She comes across like an asshole. What about this moved people? This didn't help domestic survivors at all. This didn't move the law in any way. This didn't invoke empathy in anybody. This actually turned into a circus.
Do you feel like it's possible that this might have moved the needle, at least on acknowledging that there are male survivors of domestic abuse? I feel like maybe those, perhaps, those.
Yeah, but like, so what? I mean, who is there oh my God, men are being beaten up by women. They're dying at the hands of women. There are laws that are restricting their access to resources. I mean, men are physically stronger than women for the most part. And in the case of Johnny Depp, he's got resources. He didn't have to stay with that bitch. He could have left, went to one of his other mansions. These are not people without an ability to change their situation. This looks like two people who were spiteful and vindictive and greedy because they're both rich. So you need more money. Being the top actor in the United States, being an Aquaman, not enough. You need more. And then she wants to pimp herself out like, I'm representing domestic abuse. Like, who does she represent? Rich white women? Get your Gucci loafers back up off the heels of the front line of oppression. Sorry, but I don't know. This case did not evoke any empathy in me whatsoever. Maybe I'm just feeling some type of way because of the Uvalde shooting, because of all the money that's being sent to the Ukraine when we gave Americans $1,200 during COVID. The fact that not a single other name in the Ghislaine Maxwell case has been released. Kevin Spacey's up on sexual assault charges. We don't seem to be talking about that. But two rich people mad at each other, suing each other for more money.
So about the money, real quick, I don't think Johnny Depp is going to get a dime from Amber Heard. I think she's, that 15 million is more than she probably has in liquid assets right now. And I think she's just going to declare bankruptcy before she ever has to pay any of that. And I think Johnny Depp knew that. I think this was about him trying to clear his name. And
but it didn't. I don't think it cleared his name. He looks like a drunken, drug-addicted savage. And she looks like a pig. You took a shit in his bed. And he's drunk on the couch, drooling with Coke on the table and slumped over. How did this make either one of them look better? It didn't.
Drunken, drug-addicted savage, but not a wife beater. I think we all knew Johnny Depp drank and did drugs.
Right.
No, that is no surprise that Johnny Depp likes a little bit of drink, likes a little bit of other things.
So you don't think he hit her at all? You don't believe he hit her at all?
I believe there's clearly insufficient evidence of that. Okay. Where's the evidence?
Well, I don't know. I saw pictures of her with bruises on her face.
Again, that was makeup.
The bruises was makeup? Mm-hmm. And somebody proved that it was makeup?
Yep.
And she convinced the doctor that she had bruises on her face that was really makeup?
Movie makeup.
Now, if she really did lie about all that, and if they did catch her in lie after lie, which is some of the broad strokes in the news I've seen about this, then she's even a bigger asshole than I already think she is. But does that speak to him just having more resources to disprove it? Or does it speak to her inability to prove it?
It speaks to him having more resources because nobody else would have had, like, they had to dig in and be like, this makeup kit came out at this time. And it actually, as she says, it was a different thing that came out at a different time. Like, that amount of research is something that, a private detective, a forensic accountant, things of that nature. You can only do that if you're a millionaire who already has a legal team getting paid, anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 an hour. And then they are able to go and hire private inspectors, private investigators, et cetera, expert witnesses, and all of those things. You don't get that unless you have resources, no matter how much of the truth you think you have on your side.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's a shitty case all around. I don't think it helped anybody. I don't think it even helped them. I think they both look like animals. I think she came out looking worse than he did, but I don't think he came out looking good. Okay, maybe he's not a wife beater, but he came out just looking like a savage. I don't think this did good for either one of them, although I think his career will continue in a way that hers won't. Yeah.
And, he did lose out on a movie, Fantastic Beasts, like one of the movies in that series. So hopefully this means...
The guy's already worth $100 million. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't have any empathy for either one of these people. This is not a couple that I'm like, wow, poor John. Oh, poor Amber. I don't care. I don't know why anybody else cares. They're rich. They had resources to get the fuck away from each other. They chose to stay and torture each other, humiliate each other, and then sue each other for humiliating each other. Didn't move the needle in any way, shape, or form. Didn't move any laws. Didn't help women. Seems like I don't hear either one of them saying, I've learned from this and now I'd like to support domestic abuse. They're both like, am I getting my next movie? I mean, really? He's already worth 100 million, even if she's worth 5. You're both going to be fine for the rest of your lives. And I don't even really know why this was televised.
Oh, it was televised to get those clicks and get those eyeballs.
Okay, so then what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell's case? Right. That's my point. She and her clique actually hurt children, raped and trafficked people, but we know Amber Heard took a shit in Johnny Depp's bed. And I'm supposed to give a shit? Why am I supposed to care about this? Personally, fuck him, fuck her. They're both animals. They have no class. Who did this move the needle for? Neither one of them, and no domestic abuse survivors. So what was the point of this? Just to distract us from Will and the Ukraine and all this other bullshit going on? That was it? That was in a nutshell? From that lunatic that's running for office in Georgia? I mean, there's so many other things going on with so much more meaning and so much more impact. I don't even understand why that case got airtime.
Cheap advertising revenue. Plus, it's predictable. They knew exactly when, the dates of the trial. They don't know exactly when the jury is going to come back, but they know the general dates of the trial. So you can sell ads for that up front in terms of traditional media. And then, of course, all of the other, digital media, you can sell ads bidding on Johnny Depp trial, all the keywords and all of these things. All the content creators making money, all the platforms making money off of the eyeballs that are on the content creator. Everyone made money on this.
Absolute just trash. It's indicative of where this country is going culturally. And I'm disappointed. More people watch this than the Supreme Court nomination. So don't saturate yourself with this type of bullshit and then complain about the country that we're in. It's shit like this why we're getting dumber every day. This is real shit we should be learning about, and we're not, because everybody wants to know how many piles of shit was found in Johnny Depp's bed. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't even believe that this consumed people. I literally would watch it for like 3 minutes and be like, anyway, I need to clean my bathroom. Like, this wasn't even entertaining enough for background noise for me.
Speaks to
shameful
celebrity in celebrity worship in America.
Again, it goes to the celebrity worship. And then we turn these celebrities into spokespersons. And then we take these spokespersons and we start nominating them for office. And then we would get a shitty, uneducated world. We're all scratching our heads trying to figure out what's the problem. Give it 10 years, the Kardashians are going to go into politics. Remember, I said that now.
It might be less than 10 years. If Kim gets that fucking law degree that she's not.
Kim gets that law degree, they're going into politics next.